Welcome, Advanced Design students. In this lesson, we're going to learn how to unwrap and texture an organic character here. And of course, this is different than what we've done in the past, because what we've done in the past are geometric shapes like crates and barrels and things like that. But this is an actual character. And this process is kind of similar, but also different from what we've been doing. As you can see from looking at the UVs on this character here, we do have a texture just like we've had in the past, but this particular one was actually painted in Photoshop. The UVs were unwrapped and laid out, and then the person exported the UV template just as we've done, but they actually used Photoshop tools to paint this character's skin and clothing and everything else onto the mesh. So what we're going to do is unwrap this character, and then we're going to use the existing texture. We're not going to paint it. I think that would just take too long. But I would like you to get some experience in unwrapping an organic character and also learning to use some additional tools available in Maya. So let's get started. So once you download the project files, what you'll have is a start file, and you'll also have one for the rifle and the handgun, but you will not have the finished file. Also in the source images folder here, you will have the textures that you need to texture the character and the weapons. But we're just going to do the character. So you're going to open up the start file. So when you open up the character, it's going to look like this. And there will be no UVs and no texture on anything except for her hair. If you open up the layer manager, which you can do by clicking this button right here, the first thing we're going to do is hide the hair and the eyes. And we're just going to leave the body visible. There's also a layer for the weapons and a layer for her accessories, which is her holster and her badge. So the first thing you're probably going to want to do is go ahead and save a copy of the scene with your name, like this. Or something like that in the folder so you don't overwrite the start file. And then you can begin to work on this one. The second thing we need to do is delete the history. So select the character and come to Edit, Delete All by Type, History. And that will just clean up the mesh in the scene. And then we're going to make sure we're in the UV editing workspace and make sure you have the UV toolkit open. We're going to be spending most of our time in the cut and sew category, in the transform category. We're going to use the pinning tools, and we're also going to use the unfold and the align tools. And one of the main tools we're going to use is what's called the 3D cut and sew UV tool. And this will allow us to cut seams on our character, and that will help us base where the mesh is going to unfold and lay out. Well, one very important thing we need to do before we can use the 3D cut and sew tool is we need to do something to the preferences for our Maya application. I want you to open up a new Finder window by clicking right here. Then I want you to go to Applications, Autodesk, Maya 2022, Maya, and then I want you to right-click and select Get Info. And that will bring up this little window here. And then you very importantly need to check this box right here, Open in Low Resolution. And once you've done that, you can close these two windows and we can get started. And we'll do that in the next video. And I'll see you then.